Hello, I'm Jennifer of Jen and Coco. I hope you're having a wonderful day today. I hope you have your mugs of hot chocolate ready because we are going to go on a blitz of coining new morphemes. So, let's jump right in. Okay. Now, let's see, where are we starting at with this? Okay, first let me make sure you all can see our words. So yeah, we're just going to try and go on a blitz of creating as many basic words as we can today. So that way we can have stuff to work with for the future. We're going to try and just knock out a lot of the basics as well, just so we have them ready to go. And yeah, let's hop on into this. And let me make sure y'all can see this. So I've written out a couple of starters. I have a word generator in the background running. So we're going to use that to help us figure out what we're going to say, and let's go. So we're going to want a word for to eat. This is clearly going to be a verb. Take that off around my neck. And we also, to go is also going to be a verb. And there's probably going to be some more meanings to these, but I'm not sure what. Those feel pretty basic to me, but I'm not sure what else they could potentially mean. Whereas this is going to be our plural, or what will eventually become our plural marker. So that's going to be an important one to know. So a word for meaning many or multiple. So let's go ahead and start adding morphemes to these. So, okay, here we're going to have ka for to eat. One thing we're going to have to eventually do is make sure that we're not doubling up our morphemes here. Yeah, we're actually we're going to go for a two-syllable word to start off with ka, because we don't necessarily need this to be one syllable to start eyeing right now. So, here we are. Okay, so we have kiku, yeah. Next, we have to go. This one's also, we're going to start eyeing, yeah, we're going to start trying to do some more and more, well, some of these could be single syllable words. So that one might get the ka we were looking at earlier. Which is ka, kiku, ka, okay. Many or multiple, I think that's going to get a multiple syllables. Got a lot of ish, kasha. There we are. So yeah, kasha. Gotta make sure I don't do sh and do sh instead. Kasha. Now, let's see, next we're going to have, okay, what other basic words do we want to start working on? Oh, we can start working on some of our, well, no, pronouns are going to be a bit more complicated, so we're not going to worry about that right now. Especially since, well, I might have to relook at pronouns because of how we changed up our animacy system recently. Okay, so let's start with this. So we have, let's see, to eat, to go, many, multiple. Other basic words in a language. We could do some body parts, perhaps. Just a word meaning food. And right now we're also working about words that would likely exist very, very early on, and before we really have our gender system in place. So that's another thing to consider as we're creating this. So we have food. Now, would they differentiate? Yeah, there's really two types of food. So really we're going to have a meat. Yeah, we're gonna have a word for like meat. Meat, insects, essentially meaning animal meat, more or less. Okay. And this is going to be... Aha. One moment, please. Oh, we didn't use that one. Okay. Yeah. Want a different one of these. One moment as I try and find which word to which word I want to use. I have one in mind. There we are. That's more like it. Okay, so here we have Fupi. Okay, so a Fupi. Let's see, next we're gonna have a word meaning food, as in nectar. Possibly fruit as well. Definitely nectar, maybe fruit. This is also a noun. Brika, 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 ka, yeah, ka, brika, brika, yeah, brika. There we are. Okay, so other basic words that we're going to want to have. Despite our Flaunal creatures being at the top of the food chain, our avian creatures are not. So they would still potentially be at risk of being hunted. So something meaning danger or prey or predator would be likely, as well as we also might have different words for to hunt. Actually, hunting would be. Let's actually go with to hunt. Okay. Oh, hello. So here we have let's see. Afu, afu, afi, afi, afi. Yeah, afi. To hunt. Afi. Now, let's see, what else is there? We have... Okay, next we're going to have... So right now we're working with a lot of things that revolve around food. I think that's fine. Maybe a word, something meaning prey or target. But is that going to be different from like food, meat? Ooh. To hunt, to pursue. Let's see, to hunt. Maybe not to pursue, but like to search, maybe, potentially. Kind of get like the sense of stalking, like stalking prey. But that's not really. We'll come up with. We'll think of that later. Of what else to hunt could mean, because it's got. It has to. There's something else it means. But yeah. Ooh, hello. But yeah, prey, target. Damn. And that would be ha. Hafa. 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 Fa. Okay, there we are. Okay. Next we're going to have okay. Let's see, noun, verb. Okay, so what's next? What other words do we want? Do we want a word for predator? Or danger? And is it going to include both predators or carnivorous predators of our avian creatures and herbivorous predators of our flaunal creatures? Or is it just going to be for our avian creature, or we have two separate words for that? Because I think that'd be an interesting one to have as a word. I think it'd be interesting to denote. Well, yeah, but that would be like a danger. I don't think that they would be a specific special word for a predator, for essentially a herbivorous predator, as it were. Okay, so we have. Let's see, prey, target. Okay, other words can we do? We could do conjunctions, although I think I want to wait on those a little bit. Let's see, to hunt, to prey, target. Let's do. Other words that we need. To talk would be one. Oh, hello. Let's see, yeah, that's to talk. I want to come back to that one though. We can do body parts. Beak. Would they differentiate Flaunal and avian beaks, and would they differentiate the two types of beaks on a Flaunal creature? Because there's one for eating and the two for breathing and speaking. My first thought is going to be let's see. Prey, target, beak. Yeah, would they see their mouths as being the same or not? I think that they would see... that's a good question. I think we're going to start with, let's see, beak is going to be a word. Is going to be... Avian Flaunal breathing, and then we'll have a beak. Well, no, because they still have the same basic function. So yeah, we'll say that it's just beak. Or, yeah, it's whether they differentiate based on the fact that, based on being able to talk or based on being able to eat, would depend on which one gets labeled similarly to the avian one. I think in that case, having two separate words for beak would make sense. And I think having the distinction that okay, I think that's going to be a bit more of a complicated word than we thought, so we'll come back to that one. Oh boy. Hand is a complicated word, as is wing. Physiology is just going to be a complicated set of words, so that we'll just leave that at that for right now. Family's going to be something that we could work on. That might be one but that's going to take a lot of some derivational stuff. Let's see. So, ignoring names and such for a moment, we can have some basic words that we say. Like, I hunt a target would be, or I hunt prey, or even we haven't talked about causativity or anything like that, or passivity and transitivity at all yet. We haven't talked about valency, but that's the clear way to say it. We haven't talked about valency at all yet, and that provides a lot of options, like, is to hunt a... does it require a direct object? Like, does it require something that you are specifically hunting? That's something we'll have to look into. I think right now that's more than we want to look at right now, since right now we're just trying to coin a lot of terms. But let's see. Yeah, right now we could say Hafa, ba'apu, yeah. I hafa ba'apu. I hunt my prey, or I hunt prey. A basic, very early sentence, ignoring the fact that I use an English pronoun in there. So, okay, our next word is going to be... we are going to want a word for sun and sunlight. Is that meaning all light in general, or specifically just sunlight? Is a good question, though. So, and does it include daytime? I think, yeah, daytime makes sense. Sunlight, day, light, yeah, that's all kind of all of the above. There we are. So sunlight, day, light. There may be more attached to that, at least, if not now, evolutionarily speaking, just because of we have a plant-based creature, so let's see. Okay, next we have, let's see, prey, target, sunlight, day, light. Other words, or other easy beginning words. Let's see, we've talked about... We haven't talked about postural or motion verbs yet, like to walk, to stand, to sit. Postural verbs are going to get complicated because those deal with physiology, and I think our motile verbs as well are going to be at least mildly complicated because we have two different species with two different basic forms of communication, or not communication, of transportation. One hops around, one flies around. Those are two very different things. Oh, to see. Yeah, let's actually, to see, to hear, to speak. Yeah, we'll need to decide. Yeah, there's a few things that we'll need to figure out here. But at least this is going to be a basic start, and we can work on some of the details later. See, hear, speak. Taste? Yeah, let's just get some of the senses in. See, hear. Well, actually, yeah, hold on. We'll come back to speak. We haven't considered whether or not they smell. Right now we'll lump smell and taste together. I think that'll be fine. To feel. Yeah. And then to speak. Okay. We'll just go down the line here with our two-syllable words. So we have kaka, kafu, kafu. Keep pa, paku, paki, paki, paki. Copy. Okay, I find it interesting that even though I just went straight down the line in our generator, to see, to hear, and to speak, all three got the same beginning beginning syllable. We might work with that later, that idea. We might run with that. And it's not a syllable we've used yet, so... yeah. So we might play around with that some. Okay, next we're going to have... let's see, we have... any other basic... okay, so basic things to do. To die. So what I want is one moment, please, because I have this. Ooh. Alright, to die. I'm not getting, let's see, to be born, to give birth, to hatch. I don't know if I'm going to see hatch and sprout as two different words, though. Yeah, I think right now, yeah, to hatch, to sprout. Yeah, I think they'll just see it as variations on the same process. I mean, that's what I'm going to say right now, is that, yeah, to hatch, to sprout. To grow. Okay. Kappa. Kappa. Yeah. Kappa. Kappa. Okay. Yeah, that works with them for me. Okay. To hatch, to sprout, to grow. What else do we have? Those are all our verbs. Any more nouns that we want to work with right now? Nouns get more complicated because nouns just get more complicated. Period. We have demonstrative. And I guess we'll call it an adjective. It doesn't really, I mean, it's the closest thing. It does modify nouns, so that fits. Okay. So we have haku. Haku. Yeah, this, that. Got it. Haku. Right. Ri. Ki. Rapa. Bra. Pi. Ha. Kiku. Kiki. Kiku. Ka. Aha. 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 Fu. Fupi. Fupi. Brika. Brika. Afa. Afu. Afu. Fi. Fi. Afu. Afi. Hafa. Paya. Kaka. Kaka. Kapu. Keep paku. Coffee. Interesting. We also made to speak very, very similar to hear. I hadn't realized that much either. Even only the final vowels are different. Aha, aha, apa, apa, ha, sha, 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 shaki, shaki, shaki. Yeah. Let's see. Other basic words we should want. Number, we haven't talked about what base we're going to want for a number system yet, so we're not going to worry about numbers. Because I have no idea how to pick the base on this one, because normally I would base it on either number of hands, number of fingers, or number of toes, or something like that. But we have two different creatures here, and that we have two different sets of fingers and such. I'll have to look at my physiology notes again on that to figure out what would make the most sense. Okay, let's see. Flaunal, avian, other words that we're going to want to have for sure. Or other basic words, rather. Just some other basic things. Let's see. Detach, to spout, to sprout, to grow. Yeah, most of the other things I'm thinking of right now would be things I want to derive, like to come of age. Okay, what are some of our other jobs that we have? Or that we've talked about before. Let's see, we've talked about... So we have hunters as one. We already have that. Shepherding. Farmers, fishermen, chef, tanner, blacksmith, lumberjacks, miners, stonemasons. Yeah. I think this is what we're going to call it for right now. We have a lot of basic things. I think everything. We blitzed through some basic words. I think the next thing, our next sets of words are going to take more thought, more derivation and such, and possibly working with translations. So we might want to start looking at that. The other thing, so things I definitely know I want to look at though. We haven't talked at all about valency, and that'll give us a lot more options on our verbs. So that's something we're going to want to start to consider is what sort of valency operations. So we'll probably look at that. Today's Friday. Today's Friday the 4th. So on Monday, March 7th, we're going to look at valency. We're going to consider other words. We're also going to we might get around to talking about physiology. because that's going to be a large source of vocabulary, but also but that pronouns and um, family are going to be potentially complicated sets of words. However, I think getting those three are going to provide us lots of options. We're also going to want to start thinking about other basic noun words as well. Things like like water, land, air. I might actually just come up with some of those. Well, because some of these concepts are going to be complicated. At least coming up with just a word for water is one thing, but my reason for why it would feel complicated. One, our carnivorous creatures, due to their history, don't really drink water because their leaves are very good at absorbing the water around them, and they would also potentially gather water, and they would also gather water from or any moisture they would utilize moisture that was within their prey as well. But mostly they gather water from the air around them for the most part. I could see drinking potentially being something they do, but it is not going to be a common. It is not a very common thing. Let's put it that way. Let's see. So drinking, to drink would be. So water would be is a complicated thing because it's not necessarily a basic necessity in the same way that it is for other creatures. Our hummingbirds may need to drink water more likely. I'd actually need to look into that. However, they would also drink nectar. So I mean, it's not necessarily like a exclusive drink or something like that. And plus, bodies of water you can get into complicated derivational strategies to come up with names for bodies of water. So, yeah, those sort of things are going to take, I think, more thought rather than just a blitz through. So I think this is what we're going to call it for today. So, on Monday, we'll talk about valency. We will talk about, and then we might start looking into physiology, family, and pronouns. It's probably starting with pronouns. We'll probably focus on valency and pronouns and starting there, and seeing how we stem out from there. So, yeah, this is what we're going to call it for today. Thank you for everyone who joined me today. I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. I will be on Twitch in 20-25 minutes. Well, maybe 15-20 minutes following the end of the stream. So if you would like to see more, come join me over there. Otherwise, I will be back here on Monday, I think we said it was the 7th, yes. 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Note for anyone else that this weekend we have daylight savings here in the U.S., so it'll be an hour earlier, I believe, than I have been streaming relative to everyone else. So just keep that in mind, and thank you for joining me, and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Goodbye!